What's up, beatboxers? What do you think is the most important sound in beatbox? Let's be honest, you can do a beat without using any bass. You can learn just one kick, which is the kick drum, and use it in any beat. But a good snare is gonna make your beat so much better, and I think it's the most important sound in beatbox. So today, let's learn the top 5 best snare in beatbox. Now for the fifth sound, we got the inward K snare. This sound is basically the representations of the K in the BTK, like the. So this is probably the first sound you ever hear, but it's actually really hard to learn. Okay, so it's not like really hard, but it's not an easy sound. So I will try to teach you in the best way possible, okay? So first, just say cat. Cat, 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 cat. Now, pronounce the K as strong as you can. Like just cat, 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 cat. Okay, now just remove the vocalizations. Like remove the AT in the CAT cat. Just cat, 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 cat. Now, just gonna do the same thing but inward. Like instead of without, within. When you say the K, like just out, in. Literally the same thing. So now the last thing you have to do is just to do the same thing but on the side of your mouth instead of like in the middle. Now instead of in the middle, do it on the side of your mouth like. And the reason for this is just that it sounds better. I don't know why, but like doing K snare on the side always sounds better. Disclaimer though, I am not good with the K snare. Like I learned the inward K snare from very early, but I never actually use it, only the other snare, so I am really shitty with it. So here's the demonstration of how good the inward K snare can be done, but like performed by other, not me. So yeah, just keep going, train every day, and let's continue to the fourth snare, which is the outward K snare. Okay, so why the inward K snare is the representations of the K? The outward K snare is actually used more. Maybe the main reason is because it's really easy to learn. Go back to the outward part, like without. Now just do the same thing, but just remove the breath, like it's the same motions, but just without using your lung to breathe out. So now that you have learned it, I actually suggest investing in this sound as much as possible because it's probably the best sound in beatbox. Not the best snare, but one of the best sound in beatbox. Because like, it is kind of too weak to be a snare, but it is super versatile for other use. Like, you want to use breath, so you won't be out of air, and you can do it very fast with just your throat. Like just super fast. So you can use it in combo like this. Like, yeah, you can add it in between combo and make it sound so good. So yeah, invest in this sound as much as possible. Train it. Train. Okay, but like I said, it is too weak to be a snare. So let's learn a real powerful snare as the third sound, which is the 2H sub snare. Created by 2H, a legend. This sound is actually getting its popularity among advanced beatboxers, unlike other snare, but it's still pretty easy, so let's learn. Okay, so go back to the outward in the middle again. This time, combine with the lip bass, which is vibrating your lip. Like everyone can do it. Just now, just end the with the lip bass, like. Do it in the fast motions. And that is the sub snare. Yeah, pretty simple actually. And like I said, this is probably one of the most powerful snare. You just try to do the K as hard as possible, like you are coughing, like as hard as possible. So you're gonna get something like, and you can combine it with a beat. So it's gonna sound like, but I still haven't mastered this sound yet, so let me show you the footage of the world champion.
Yeah, it's easy.
Insane, right? Okay, but for the second sound, let's go back to something simple. Probably the most learned snare, the speed snare or the BMG snare. So a lot of beginners cannot learn this sound because they actually chase the speed like this, which is entirely wrong. But what you have to do is to first puff in your mouth. So you're gonna store air inside your cheek, right? But instead of storing air inside your cheek, store it in your bottom lip or your upper lip, like your preference. For me, it's gonna be the bottom lip, like this. Now, don't use your lung and breathe out with your mouth, like don't. But instead, push the air out with your mouth, like you always do this, right? Like just push it out like a balloon. Okay, do the same thing, but tighten your lip as much as possible. So just okay. Once you get familiar, just remove your hand and do it with only your mouth. Do it faster. Yeah, and that is the speed snare. And after learning it, just try to do it as clean as possible, so it's gonna sound like the real electric clap. You know, like the clap in EDM song. Or you can even learn to do multiple speed snare at once by doing multiple speed snare in one clean motion. So like that is 3 speed snare in one motion. So it's gonna sound like, I'm not that clean, so yeah. But if you want to learn this, that was like 100 speed snare. You have to learn the advanced speed snare, which is super hard and is used by a lot of world champ. So if I manage to learn it, I will try to teach you guys in the future. Because for now, for the final sound, the snare that I think I like the most is the BF snare. Funnily enough, this is probably the easiest sound in the list. All you have to do is to do a kick drum, which is the B, and the F hi-hat, which is the F, of course, like just fish, fish, fish. Easy, right? So just 2 of them together. We got it's too easy, to be honest. But it's still super amazing because you won't have to use your breath, you're just gonna use your lip, so you can breathe while doing the sound, even humming. And unlike the speed snare, this sound is really fast to do, so like you can do it in between really fast combo. Like for the speed snare, yeah, it's gonna break the combo, but for the BF snare, and it's super powerful too, because the more powerful the kick, like the B, the more powerful the speed snare. Yeah, I know, I kinda gotta use the BF snare a little bit too much, because it's like my favorite sound. So to be fair, I'm gonna do a beat that contains all the 5 snare, and you can see which is the best for you. Okay, let's start. Yeah, super. I can actually be a little bit faster, like.
fourth.